Hey, John, I had a question for you. I was curious. I mean, some of our call outs have Merab's name in it.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the fight, I wasn't obnoxiously yelling at Merab. I said, Merab, you need to be patient. That's what I said.
Okay.
And he heard me. And that's when he started freaking out and running around the cage. And I'm just curious, for you, would you have called a timeout then or kind of got in the middle?
I would have, I'm being honest, I would have talked to you in the beginning. And personally,
and Herb did. And Herb did.
And said, hey, look, I need you to understand, I cannot have you talking to the opponent in any fashion. Mm-hmm. So when you say Merab, you've got to look out. Even if it's a call sign for you guys, you're making it sound like you're talking to the opponent. So right away, I would have said, hey, I'm telling you now, stop. We talked about this. If you do it again, I'm going to remove you from this arena, which I don't want to do. Obviously, that would affect your fighter and everything. So it's the last thing you want to do. But yeah, it's right in the rules that the one thing you can talk to Sean all you want. Mm-hmm. And we want you to be able to coach and talk to him and give him good, feedback. But we cannot have you in any fashion talking to the opponent or talking to the referee during the round. I'll go in the back and I'll say, hey, if you want to talk to me between rounds, you can say anything you want to me. You can call me an asshole. You can call me all that stuff. I don't care. If you start talking to me during the round, I'm going to have a problem with you. And so all of that, it's in the rules. And it's one of the things that it used to, we didn't care. And then it started to have a problem and you started to have corners starting to actually wanting to fight. And so we just took it away.
And that's why I wasn't trying to be obnoxious and yelling. So from going forward, we cannot have the opponent's name in our call outs.
You should not. Never. Okay. It's going to cause you a problem.
Okay. Especially now that it's public that you guys do that. Every ref's going to come in first thing they're going to say.
Yeah. Well, and every corner, every opponent that you're going to fight from now on, their corner, the first thing they're going to say to the referee when he walks in to talk to them. Yeah. Hey, I know that he starts talking to my fighter and I know that's not, and it's just going to be this thing. So yeah, for you right now, I would say, just, step away from that. You can call it out on any other fighter's name or anything you want. Doesn't matter. Not the name of the opponent though.
Good to know.
Yeah. If you follow anything with like Mark Henry, right?
Yeah.
He does the numbers
from New Jersey.
Yeah. He's like 67, 24, 32. Yep. I'm sorry. I can't do math when I'm fighing. Okay. It just does not me.
You're not Frankie.
But yeah, that's one of those things. I mean, you just start thinking of other ways to kind of, use your name, use somebody else's name, but change it up somehow.
And Tim, after this, I'll give you my phone number. You ever have a question on any rule, anything at all, give me a call and I'll answer for you.
Okay. Sounds good. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm constantly calling John and just asking him, like, "Hey, was that right?"
Is that right? I'll be honest. You had an instance in that fight, and this is where I talk about. I just talked about it on Anik and Florian's podcast. Is Herb was set up for you to say something because I knew he talked to you before.
Yes,
and I said, I'm sure he talked to Tim. He told me he can't do it. And as soon as Tim said the name of Merab, I said, he knew exactly what he was going to do. Mm-hmm. He's going to stop the action, all this stuff. I go, where Herb ended up being indecisive was when Merab had Sean up against the cage and started kissing his back and then got up and turned.
Yes.
I go, that took Herb and kind of threw him off. He was not prepared for a fighter to be kissing another fighter. Mm-hmm. He wasn't, and he didn't know what to do, and he was delayed in his reactions, and he wasn't decisive because at the time you've got to look and say, this isn't boxing. And I learned this whole thing from a boxing match where I watched a guy get kissed, and you had Heath Herring and Nagao at the start of a fight long ago in Japan that it happened, but I watched it and I watched what the referee did. I said, okay, I know what I would do, so automatically I know what I'm going to do. Well, when Merab gets up, that round is still going. Mm-hmm. It's a 360-degree sport. MMA, you're allowed to attack the back. Mm-hmm. You obviously can't hit the spine, but Sean could have gotten up. Herb kind of got in the way because he was thinking of trying to do something about what Merab did, and he just didn't know what to do. And so it kind of just the time went by, and then the end of the round comes, and it was a chance for Sean. And you can see Sean's getting up and he's starting to go after him. It was a chance for Sean to land a shot.
Yeah, I mean, his hip did kind of hit him. He wasn't able to turn over his hip and sit into that punch as much as he wanted to, but it's the way she goes.
That's the way she goes. That's it. And look at none of us are going to make the perfect choice, every time. It just can't happen. Sometimes when you think about something beforehand, you'll react and do what you thought about. When you haven't thought of something happening and then it's happening, it's like, what the hell do I do? It becomes the problem.